Helicopter simulations have always been popular, but their appeal appears to be growing. As a matter of fact, the Apache Copter has become the latest rage, as 3 major companies are planning to release Apache simulations over the next 6 months. AH-64D Apache Longbow, the forthcoming Origin game, is actually based on a variant of the AH-64 Apache. The Longbow is outfitted with an advanced radar device not found on the regular Apache. This new radar device is affixed to the top of the rotors and enables the Longbow to see better in combat. For example, it can now see around hills, whereas before, the radar would have shown a blind spot. If you weren't aware of this, don't worry. The Apache Longbow isn't even in military service yet. The only existing models are still considered prototypes. So how can one get around all of the classified material and base a game on a piece of military hardware that barely even exists? This is where Jane's comes in. Jane's is the biggest name in military hardware and weaponry information. Origin and EA have just entered into an agreement with Jane's, which allows the designers to have access to volumes of information, as well as the weapons experts at Jane's. This gives the developers of Longbow a one-stop information center to get all accurate specifications on any vehicles, aircraft, and weapon systems featured in the game. When Longbow is released, you can be sure that the specs and performance of anything in the simulation are the same as you'd experience on the real battlefield. The structure of the game is going to be radically different from other games on the market, but there will be 4 areas of gameplay. The first area is the tutorial, which is designed to allow first-time players to load the game and use the tutorial to learn the game without using the manual. There's also an in-flight instructor that tutors and responds to the pilot's action with full digitized speech. The second area of gameplay is a single mission structure based on actual historical scenarios from Operation Just Cause in Panama and Operation Desert Storm in the Persian Gulf. All terrain has been reproduced from maps and surveys, meaning that players will be seeing the same targets and landscape as the real pilots. The third area of play is set up by a random map generator. The computer will design scenarios to play, so Longbow will keep a high degree of replayability. The player can even give the game parameters to design a scenario, including size of the enemy force, the time of day, and the combat area. The fourth area of play is the campaign mission. 50 missions are set up within a storyline that unfolds as the player progresses further along the campaign. Animated cutscenes are used to tell the story, using a combination of live video and computer-generated graphics. Longbow will have branching routes, so campaigns won't be totally linear. The graphics are going to complete the Longbow package. The entire game was built from scratch in order for the designers to get the detailed texture-mapped graphics they wanted, while still maintaining the speed and performance that an aircraft like the Longbow would require. There's a lot of interest in chopper sims these days, and there's about to be a lot of competition in the genre in the near future. In order to stay ahead of the crowd, Origin is pulling no punches in its development of Longbow. They took experienced designers, gave them all the technical information they needed, and developed their own engine just for this game. Be on the lookout for Origin's AH-64D Apache Longbow to fly into stores before Christmas.